him by. Really, really good player from the Northwest. Beloved player. I think he's playing Mew today. I think he had said that earlier. So seeing a Mew at the top table is playing this winning in here.
Yeah, and we do see the Mew on that side, and don't have information just yet on Calvin. But let me see what I can do for us.
Yeah, and both of these players, again, this is kind of the most tense moment you can play tense moment you can play on day one. You're getting into the top 8, kind of reliving the situation, but for a top 8 tomorrow, or you're playing the finals. Those are pretty intense, but this is the biggest sweat you have on day one.
Well, this looks like it's going to be a pretty clean original Arc Dark with the Galarian Moltres, and nothing else really teched in. So it's going to be some nice good old-fashioned Pokemon for us.
Yeah, so it sounds like we got kind of stock versions of Arceus and Mew. So it seems like a good way to end the first day of kind of this last regionals of this format.
I'm definitely excited for this. We have 2 good players ready to go, a nice matchup lined up, and they're going to be desperate for these 3 points. This is exactly what we want to see here in the final round. Both players going to be playing fast and aggressive for us, hopefully, and giving us a winner.
Yeah, definitely. Tie is not going to help anyone out. Let's go ahead and take a look at the prize cards of these players. We got a lot of Boss's orders in there. Two for Ricky, it looks like. 2 Darkness Energy at the very top for Calvin. And players are going to start things off for us momentarily. The final round of Swiss here in day 1 of Vancouver. 2 players are entering and 1 player is continuing on tomorrow. The other player, like you said, has to go home and enjoy a nice vacation in Vancouver.
Yeah, real tough. I'm so sorry for you.
All right, looks like Ricky is going to start things off for us here. Meloetta start versus Arceus, and you're right, Kyle. This is just kind of the classic setup of this format, including the turn 1 first action Cramormatic flip.
Ooh, with the heads.
With the heads.
You heard of that Battle VIP pass card?
Yeah, I think we're going to add it to the hand real quick.
That is a good card.
Yeah, you see that Battle VIP pass immediately get brought to the front of the deck. Ricky, of course, checking through his prizes, gonna take stock of those 2 Boss's orders prize. But yeah, this is I feel like a broken record saying it, but this is how it goes, right? The Mew VMAX deck is just so focused on these early turns, just kind of thinning out your deck. You want to draw as many cards as possible. You're gonna see Genesect, you're gonna see Mews, you're gonna see Fusion Strike systems. And looks like Ricky does have the Pokemon Catcher version as well.
Yeah, that's we've seen that version gaining a lot of steam. A lot of players are leaning towards that instead, just because of the flexibility it gives you, not having to dedicate that supporter for the turn to the boss's orders. And it's gonna be pretty nice here. Just having additional items too can be beneficial, making that decision with the Cramormatic a little simpler.
Yeah, kind of a really minor thing there. Obviously in a vacuum, the Pokemon Catcher just requires a flip, which is a lot less of a guarantee than Boss's orders. But just the little percentage point that it's an item actually can really come up. We've seen today even we've seen games get lost because there was no extra item for a Cramormatic.
Rowan may have given us one of the most exciting games with all those flips. And I believe he's playing a win and in as well this round. So
wow,
yeah, good luck out there.
All right, so it's like we're going to see the first Fusion Strike system just for 1 card here. But it draws the Ultra Ball, which is, as far as kind of thinning the deck out, thinning the hand out, is the best card you could ask for. It looks like Elisa Sparkle is getting kept for next turn.
Yeah.
This is, sometimes you'll occasionally see this, even with a good setup, you'll see the Battle VIP pass, you'll see the couple of Pokemon, maybe it doesn't fill the whole bench, you'll just see 1 or 2 off the Fusion Strike and a pass, but not Ricky Gao. He has the Ultra Ball on top of his deck, and now we're going to see these things just kind of cascade on top of each other with like 4 cards drawn next.
Yep, he is not done yet. Plenty of Fusion Strike system left for the turn. Could see some additional item cards being played, and it's getting to that magic number. We're starting to see that discard pile grow bigger and bigger. That means the deck is going to just grow that much stronger.
Yep, and we do see another Battle VIP pass, Meloetta Double Turbo Energy added to the hand there. So not a ton of cards that can actually be burned, but a couple we can get through and use this last Fusion Strike system, or even get a 4th here. I guess the 4th Genesis is actually prized from on Ricky's side.
That makes that tougher. Yeah, the Mew makes a lot of sense here. Also, having the double turbo energy, you see that Arceus, you just start thinking, they're probably not going to play a hammer. This isn't Parker, so I'm going to be okay. You can get that down on a Mew potentially and keep this this train rolling, and also have the Alyssa Sparkle for the other Mew, and then you can start working in that in combination. So certainly very nice to get a bunch of Pokemon set up when you are playing against this Arc Dark deck.
Absolutely. So the last Fusion Strike system here, got to imagine we'll see the attach. Could play the power tablet, but I think with usually such a good enough start, it's not really something you need to do here. So we're just seeing the 3 cards off the Fusion Strike system, and a fantastic turn 1 from Ricky.
Yep.
Even has the stadium for later that might become relevant. Just passes the turn.
Yep, no switching effect, so maybe not the perfect start, but I'm not complaining. This looks really good.
Yeah, over on Calvin's side, starting with that Arceus V, of course, and then playing level ball here. So, got to imagine, we've seen it time and time again in this format that we're just kind of trying to set up some sobbles, get some shady dealings going over the next turn. So, you can kind of tell, it's funny with these decks. You can kind of the Arceus deck has a lot more wiggle room with kind of having a bad start or just playing one Pokemon and passing or something like that than the Mew deck does. If the Mew deck does that, it's really, really bad.
Yeah.
But you can kind of judge both decks a good start just based on how many Pokemon are in play. Calvin would love to just play 2 more Sobble here. Just be able to kind of get as many shady dealings options as possible for the next turn. And I gotta believe this Capture Energy is gonna find another Sobble as well.
Yeah, this is tough. You see the energy attachment to the Sobble, just thinking I need to get another Arceus down. This active one is going to get knocked out. And you would like to have a way to potentially work in something like Raihan if this Arceus V were to fall. You want to be able to have a decent attacker as a follow-up to this Mew V that's going to be a Mew V Max soon. And you have to be able to use Starbirth ability too. So getting that second Arceus looks like it's going to be the play, but the board did not get very advanced.
Monash has to pass the turn back, and now kind of you don't always see this in this format, but we're seeing the second turn from Mew, aka what's referred to as the mid game, kind of uncontested. There's no path, there's nothing kind of stopping, no blocks in the way for Ricky here. We see a quick ball, discarding that second Meloetta.
Ricky playing some interesting cards. We did see in a flash of the deck earlier the Parasol is going to be a card that's not used just yet. That's something that you use for the Beedrill. And I think we also saw a Pumpkaboo as well. So
yeah, looks like the Pumpkaboo's in hand. We've seen that a little bit in the Mew decks. It's kind of it's weird, right? Because Path to the Peak is a really disastrous card, but also it's the cost of starting with a Pumpkaboo and having one less Fusion Strike Pokemon in play the whole time is just also disastrous. I think we've seen most players tend to go for just if they want to play more cards to deal with the Path to the Peak stuff, just play more Stadium cards. But Pumpkaboo's not totally out of the question here. We see the Alyssa Sparkle come down. Ricky saved that from his first discard, and going to see the Fusion Strike energies go onto the active Meloetta and a Mew on the bench.
Yep, the one tablet seems pretty solid here. It's going to have access to maybe getting that Mew V Max and then being able to retreat and take a knockout. Maybe you find that Fusion energy, attach that for the turn, and then you can take a knockout with your Meloetta. So all in all, the damage amplifying is solid at just 1.
Looks like Rotom Phone is going to put an Ultra Ball on top of the deck.
Good card.
Yeah, it's just it's a little bit elementary to say the Ultra Ball, to praise Ultra Ball, but in this deck, in this situation, it's going to get your Mew V Max, going to discard cards from your hand, which is actually just an advantage at this point. Just good card to have in the format. Definitely makes Mew a lot more powerful.
Yeah, with the way that this matchup goes, if Mew VMAX is able to knock out 2 of the Arceus, then you can put yourself in a pretty decent spot. There's ways around avoiding the knockout from the second Mew VMAX once the other Galarian Moltres start to hit the board. So if you're able to get a couple uses out of this Pokemon here early on, you have to feel pretty comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. And that Ultra Ball does get rid of that Pumpkaboo and that Battle VIP Pass 2 cards that are just, one's literally not playable and one is not very good in this matchup. So we have the Mew VMAX coming into play, and Ricky kind of can't ask for more at this point.
Sure he can. Let's draw 3 more cards and find some more.
We have a Chromomatic too, so we can really.
Oh, the energy.
Oh, and the Fusion Strike
That
energy.
is all right.
Wow.
That's the more we were looking for. That's very clean.
We have the Meloetta with 2 Fusion Strike energy. We got 2 other Pokemon with energy on them on turn 2 somehow. Power Tablet leads to the knockout, 2 prizes, and 1 step closer to making day 2 here in Vancouver for Richard Gao.
Yep, just a slower start for Calvin. Just getting the energy onto the Sobble was not what he wanted to do, but it made sense. He knew that he was going to lose the Arceus in the active spot, and there's no way to get an attachment down on the bench.
And it looks like does have the V-Star in hand. We're going to see that come into play here, and the Sobble. So we're going to see the first shady dealings of what I assume will be many during this match. And let's see what Calvin can put together here. Definitely on the back foot with no energy is there. There's also no energy. Not sure if there's outs to discarding energy for like a Raihan play or anything like that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the move. The
Star Birth always opens that up.
Yeah, Drizzile can go ahead and find something maybe like a quick ball or an ultra ball. Just get one of those darks in the discard pile. We also maybe just don't have it because he's eyeing up Big Charm and Professor's Research maybe. Could be some prize card issues. Not sure.
Yeah, that's usually not where you want to be. You really have seen kind of historically through this format if that turn 1 attachment to the Arceus has always been really, really important. Obviously, really awkward spot in this game when you're Calvin and that the Arceus is going to get knocked out. But then it's like, okay, well, if I don't have that turn 1 attachment, I need to have some sort of unfair thing to do here. And if he can't, Raihan is very much that. And looks like, yeah, the shady dealings went for the Professor's Research. And now we're seeing double turbo. Was it double turbo Big Charm?
Oh, we're going to see the Galarian Moltres Ian Robb I can do anything I want to play.
Okay.
We love this.
All right, so Starbird does find the Galarian Moltres. As you said, there's the attach to the Arceus. Gonna see a Malevolent Charge here.
Anything
I want.
Love to see it.
All right, well, we have found a way to attack with the Arceus this turn, so things are kind of moving along here.
Tricky spot. Looking at the scoop up net, maybe thinking, this Galarian Moltres with just 1 energy isn't going to be very beneficial for me, but it's not too bad to have an additional Pokemon on the board.
Big Charm there.
Could be pretty nice. We've already seen 1 tablet down.
Yep.
Just make Richard work just that much harder.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of kind of the Mew deck is kind of trying to find knockouts turn and turn again, and the good strategy against that is just trying to make it as hard as possible. And we've definitely seen kind of players just be trying to find that last power tablet. There's 1 left with 10 cards in their deck, and they draw 3 of them and just don't hit it. And the difference between that and kind of not having to extend those resources, not having to dig for that last power tablet, can be absolutely huge. As you see, the Trinity Nova for the knockout on the Meloetta. That's 2 Fusion Strike energy gone. That kind of Meloetta is done for this game, and the Arceus just powering up itself.
Yep, thinking about Sharon's Care in the future potentially if it were not to get knocked out. If it does, got options with Clara, maybe energy retrieval. So this isn't the last time we'll see these energies.
No, I think we'll see them a bunch more. We see that Mew VMAX get promoted to the active spot and the Choice Belt.
That's big.
Very nice top deck from Ricky there.
Well, this is the one tricky part about losing that Meloetta is if this Mew VMAX were to fall, your opponent goes to 4, just the 2 prize cards, excuse me. And that's just a Genesect knockout waiting to happen or another Mew.
And it looks like Ricky's trying to think what he can do with his hand here. It's kind of awkward. It looks like boss's orders and then like 2 copies of Rose Tower. You said choice belt, the power tablet. It's like I think he has a Cramomatic, but I think his only items are choice belt, power tablet. It's kind of awkward here.
Yeah, we don't lose those. Those are good.
It's like you can play and attach them. You can't do the Cramomatic. You get your hand low enough to where you can Fusion Strike System for more cards. Kind of, you hate when you're trying to dig for things with this deck. You just hate having the redundant copies. You see that second copy of Boss's Orders and the second copy of Rose Tower. It's such an awkward thing to have in your hand.
The other consideration could potentially be, is this choice belt a card that I want to play on my bench, perhaps? Maybe the damage amplifying just gets a little trickier because of the double turbo energy.
Right.
But then you're asking for even more cards to happen, and then you have the double Mew VMAX in play, and that's not always where you want to be.
Yeah, definitely a tricky spot here. We do see that choice belt get committed to the active, and it looks like he's debating on this Rose Tower now. But I think you can play that one, and that's going to open him up for just 1 card. It looks like.
That's
Which is
not
a battle
the
VIP
best,
pass,
but it works with Cram.
It turns on the Cramomatic exactly. Big flip.
Oh, I agree. Went for the deck real quick, and I'm like,
tricked
oh,
us.
you sneaky. Oh.
All right, 2 more slots, Cramomatic, and another power tablet.
Double tablet. 222. Just 1 short then. Would need the very last one, so you play both. You draw an item with the Cram, and you get the last one?
Could be. Oh, looks like maybe just taking the safe route here.
Oh. The only benefit of the safe route is you still continue to avoid the Galarian Moltres.
And then the downside is potential like Sharon's Care play or something along those lines here. We do see the first card played is Level Ball.
Moltres is doing 2120. If you get a choice belt, you do 300. Zigzagoon could take a knockout potentially.
It's like first Level Ball just finds a Sobble. Second one, gotta imagine it's gonna find a Drizzile. But keeping the shady dealings going while building up 1 for next turn as well.
I'm going back in, sorry.
Calvin says I'm going back in, a statement we've heard a lot through ever since Shady Dealings was printed. Just lots of going back in.
I ain't done yet.
Looks like we're going to see the manual retreat here. Put the Sobble in the active spot. Oh, maybe not.
And this is the Sobble that can evolve into Drizzile, so that could be a consideration.
Yep, and we do see that evolution. We do see the Shady Dealings here, eyeing up the boss's orders.
Yep, could be a great turn to take a Mew off of the board.
We do see that boss on the Fusion Strike Energy Mew, and then the Scoop Up Net, of course, returning the Drizzile and Sobble to hand.
It's there somewhere. There's enough energies. Yeah, this is really clean. Getting the knockout here. Going to go ahead and get down to 3 prize cards now. Of course, there is a nice little play you can do with Mew when you're at 3 prize cards, but especially with this much damage in play. We'll see if Richard gets there.
Oh, Mew VMAX moves to the active spot here. Again, just one Mew VMAX knockout, one 3 prize knockout would do it here for Calvin, whereas Richard still has some time to go here. Ended up kind of saving a lot of those damage modifiers, playing kind of a much more safe game last turn. Kind of maybe counting on them for next turn or a future turn. But that kind of leaves them in the hand here, still kind of clogging up the hand, still kind of preventing Fusion Strike system. So See what Ricky puts together this turn. Chromamatic discarding the catcher.
Okay.
It's another heads.
Just been a clogged hand for a long time, but still conserving resources.
It's just weird. I'm not sure what the best find is here. I guess it depends on what all is in Ricky's hand and kind of the game plan this turn.
Yeah, if there is a psychic leap into the deck, then you'd have to assume you want another Mew V in play, just to avoid boss's orders taking that out.
Looks like eyeing up a Marnie, actually. Does end up putting the Marnie in hand. Adding a little bit of a disruptive element here. Refreshing his own hand and kind of putting, I think Calvin has 6 cards in hand, so putting him down to 4. And there is the Marnie. This is one way to unclog the hand. You know, you have all the cards, you have all these damage modifiers, and other trainer cards you don't want to play. You just put them safely on the bottom of your deck.
Yep. Maybe your opponent does not find any of their cool little frogs. Does find the Mew. Nice touch.
Yeah, Mew, Ultra Ball, Switch, Pokemon Catcher, and at least a Sparkle, it looks like. So just 2 cards here. Double Turbo as well.
Probably going to hold on to that. Don't want to make one of these Mews a bigger target than it already is.
50 plus 80 or 30, 80?
80 to 20. I don't know if there was an amplifier.
Looks like we see the Psychic Leap there. Yeah, the Choice Belt. Genesect V getting promoted. Galarian Moltres promoted from Calvin's side. Calvin taking a look to review the discard pile here. Really kind of tense moments here with 3 and 2 prizes remaining. Galarian Moltres is a card that gets a lot better with the fewer prize cards your opponent has remaining, and there's the Raihan.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice little touch. It is awkward trying to accelerate energies onto this Galarian Moltres, but this is certainly one way that you can do that. And this has to be a pretty comfortable spot for Calvin. The only thing that he's really worried about at a point like this is making sure that he's able to find that second Galarian Moltres. Of course, cards like Clara are going to be fantastic for making sure that that happens on the following turn. And you're just maybe trying to dodge Echoing Horn or something like that at this point. That's basically the only thing that really haunts you, is not having this final turn to close out.
And it looks like Capture Energy just might be the card found off Raihan here. Again, you kind of do need that another energy card attached to that Galarian Moltres to get you anywhere. It looks like that's the decision.
Yep, seems strong.
There's the attachment, going back into the deck, finding a Sobble. I see Quick Ball in hand as well, getting rid of a Choice Belt. That's another Galarian Moltres in hand as well.
Basically, just as long as you don't grab a V, I think you're in a good spot. Nice backup plan. Get a little damage down onto a Genesect.
Big Zagoon coming in, putting just 1 damage counter into play.
Ooh. Using the rose.
Saw the play.
That could be the difference, though. All these plays add up. Gonna now have the level ball in hand for the Drizzile that could open up all sorts of avenues.
Yeah, I could do something like if the, this Moltres gets knocked out, get a Clara, do some gimmicks there. But first, Ricky has to solve the Moltres problem.
Yeah, that is a tough one. Of course, the knockout's easy. There you go.
Yes.
Already did that. The problem is, it's coming right back if we don't figure this out.
There's a VV Max. There's a double turbo.
Yeah. 80. 310.
Yeah, this is just the story of the matchup. When a card like Meloa it hits the discard pile early, these games get a little bit awkward. You don't get to use the Mew VMAX in a turn where it can certainly take some damage. Instead, everything is going to be giving a one-hit knockout at this point, and you have to play very safe. And this is the only turn where you can get risky because there's one prize left.
Yeah, it just kind of doesn't really matter here. You know, if the opponent finds a knockout, they find a knockout. That's the game. So we are going to see that fourth Mew V hit the bench.
Got to start thinking about time a little bit as well. We are halfway down the clock in this opening game one here. Both players desperate for a win, a match win, to get the 3 points to go to day two.
Yeah, this is a very, very tough spot to end up with a tie. If that were to happen, just doesn't really reward either player. It's a really tough spot to be. And we do see that knockout.
Yep. Promotion of the Drizzle with the energy certainly makes you feel like Clara could be on the horizon. We see the energy in hand, a quick ball as well. I think the Galarian Moltres is already there, so level ball for Drizzile into potentially Clara or energy retrieval would get there.
Yeah, it looks like it. I do think we saw the Clara too in the deck was not prized, is not the remaining prize. So
Shady dealings.
Yep. I think we just faded past it. Just got a guarantee. Mew still has weakness. There's a Clara.
yep, looks like just going through emotions at this point.
Yep. And can't blame Calvin at this point. You
Oh,
know that you've
absolutely
been working
not.
so hard to get to this point. This is the last round of day one. You want to make sure you do this all perfectly. Have the charge.
Yeah, of course, and I mean this is this is the most important spot. And time is really, really important, as you said. That's definitely something to keep in mind. But on top of that, you just really want to be careful not to make any mistakes when you're in a spot like this, especially when you know that it's just I gotta play my cards right. And I think anyone who's played the game long enough, I think both of you and I have stories of this of I just played the cards wrong. I knew what I was supposed to do. I knew what the cards did. I just did the wrong thing with them, and that never feels good.
I've done that one notable time that I remember. Every other time I've keep myself very, very honest in my play. So, but it does haunt you when it happens for sure.
Okay, you will never forget it. But Calvin does find the line. He is up one game here versus Ricky Gao. 23 minutes remaining. This match does need to have a winner here. A tie does not help either of these players. Just kind of sends them both packing. So both of these players will be really trying to finish this match with the W here. The classic Arceus Darkness versus Mew VMAX, and we saw the Galarian Moltres do a lot of work. You know, they kind of the cards kind of pinpointed versus Mew do a lot of work and clean up that game and to see if the same thing can happen in this game too.
Yeah, Calvin did exactly what he needed to do. Understands the matchup very well, and that's what this deck is built to do. It only plays the Arceus because you know that both of them are going to get knocked out, and then you're going to work in some Galarian Moltres. If you can get one prize card with either of those Arceus, then you're going to be in a favorable position. If you can get two, then you're almost guaranteed to close out. So we'll see if that's a position that Calvin's able to find again, or is Ricky going to be able to work around that this time? If he could get a favorable active Pokemon and start taking prize cards, maybe that Mew VMAX absorbs some damage.
As this came up in game one, the big parasol is in the prizes. What is the big parasol for? When is that good in this matchup?
Well, being able to avoid the knockout by way of something other than damage, of course, is very favorable. That's something that you run into with Beedrill, but It doesn't really work in this kind of matchup, so prize cards is a great place to be.
We do see Ricky Gao starting things off here. Quick ball discarding a Rotom Phone, and we're going to see if we can have that classic Mew turn.
Of course, this is something that's weighing on Ricky pretty heavily, playing a very long opening game one. We saw a little bit of visible frustration with a head shake as they were shuffling up, getting ready to go. And as much as you want to make sure that you have all the cards ready to win this game, you got to be thinking about pace.
Yeah, definitely. It's always tough when the game one goes a little bit long, and in your mind you're thinking, okay, things are going a little bit long, but maybe I can win here if I just take this next knockout. And then when it doesn't go your way, it's just, oh man, can I even manage to salvage the win here? And that can be brutal enough when it's not in a spot like this where you need the win to advance, but especially when it is, it's one of the toughest spots you can get into.
Well, we are going to see the second quick ball now. It looks like the hands could get reasonably down to one card. Having the energy attachment and the switching effect.
Building the battle VIP pass the old-fashioned way here. Costs 4 cards, but RA is putting it together here. Double Genesect.
Yep, I believe we do see the Mew, the Fusion, the Switch. So a little more left in this hand. The Ultra Ball as a follow-up too could be nice. So can't complain here. Of course, looking for that battle VIP pass would be clutch. 2 cards.
Here we go. Is the train continuing on here?
Choo choo. Oh, we got a Rose Tower for 1. Could Ultra Ball into another Genesect if you want. Of course, damage amplifiers are big, so losing that tablet is going to be unfortunate. Who needs them?
Yep, just goes for kind of the most aggressive play here, just getting rid of those resources, putting another Genesect in play, and just gonna find 4 fresh cards before. With the second Fusion Strike system, I guess there could be or there will be a third one. There will not be a fourth one, as it is in the prize cards. Do you like that play if you're in that spot, or do you kind of like the Rose Tower, draw some cards, maybe try to play a little bit more conservatively there?
No, this seems fine. Just burning through the deck at this point is important. I'm not concerned about resources because you need to win a fast game anyways. So and just burn through, try to find that battle VIP pass, and it still eludes him, but Cram along with a switch could be nice. We see the Rose Tower as well, so this turn's not over yet.
Ricky debating on that Cramomatic. Looks like he is going to play it. Heads here. Nope,
no fake out for the deck this time.
Now we'll see the Rose Tower. 2 new cards.
Oh, VIP pass.
VIP pass. So
yep, the tablet was scary, but that is a nice find.
So now Ricky will have access to 1 last Fusion Strike system that is kind of the full amount here, as well as being able to fill that bench with that kind of backup Mew and that Meloetta that is necessary usually in these early games. So exactly kind of what you wanted here after a potentially scary start. Again, we have seen plenty of games where the Fusion Strike system, first one draws 2, they're both boss's orders, and then you end up shipping the turn, but not here.
Yeah, this is very nice. The energy attachment to the Mew also just means that you could likely get an easy knockout onto an Arceus. You don't even need to have the Pokemon catcher. You could do it with a boss's orders if you want to. So certainly everything's starting to line up here.
All right, 4 more cards for Ricky. Looks like we can end the turn on a Rotom Phone, perhaps?
Yep, seems solid.
Worst way to end a turn for sure. Pokemon Catcher, Fusion Strike Energy.
Yep. Energies are good.
Looks like I think there's a Mew VMAX.
Evolutions are good.
Yeah, it's definitely a Pokemon. I think that's the one that makes the most sense there. You can just see, look at the deck size of Ricky. Still pretty big. Not down to the smallest amount we've seen, but just played a bunch of cards, made a bunch of game actions this turn, and now shipping it back.
Yeah, Calvin has probably seen this hundreds of times. He knows this matchup inside and out. You're going to watch your opponent play a lot of Pokemon, but hopefully you make the last action of the game.
Yep. That's what you want here is we see a double Sobble, double Arceus, double Turbo Energy.
Double. And can he find a switching effect or a scoop up net perhaps? would be pretty nice. I think it is a scoop of net. An evolution incense. Nope, that is not it.
Has to pass the turn back, and now again, second turn here from the Mew VMAX deck, completely unpressured here. Ricky really trying to make the best of these last 16 minutes. He knows that he has to take this game, and he has to take a pretty quick one as well if he has any hopes of advancing to day 2. There's the Mew VMAX, there's the double turbo,
wow.
there's the power tablet, and the boss's orders.
Yeah, that is crucial. Even when you're Calvin, you start thinking at this point, this isn't going my way. And you got to start thinking about time as well.
Ricky just fusion strike system for 3 Pokemon catchers, I think.
I will take that Arceus. You don't get a choice.
All right, and there is a knockout 2 prizes for Ricky Gao. Here, a bunch of cards in hand. Just 16 minutes remaining in day 1 of this tournament.
Do not think we are going to see some energy switch shenanigans this time around.
No Ian Rob moments this game?
Big sad.
Do start things off with an evolution incense. After that, Arceus gets promoted, of course. Calvin deep in thought here. I find that Drizzile.
Nope.
the face up Arceus V-Star.
Oh, there is a Raihan in hand. Energy in hand as well. Don't know if there's energy in the discard pile just yet.
Energy switch?
Oh, stop.
Energy switch off of the Shady Dealings?
Did he find it? Oh, there is a dark energy right there.
He pulled it to the front.
I don't really know if it's necessary. It's Raihan for the dark energy. You find the double turbo, you can get something rolling, but attacking into the Mew just doesn't feel good.
Yeah, definitely. Still has not finished his Shady Dealings, just take some time here. Did pull that energy switch to the front. Debating here again, really tense moments. Every decision is really, really important. And does decide to go with the energy switch.
I'm
There's
excited
the
for this.
V-Star.
Oh, show me something.
Still has that Raihan in hand as well. Evolution Incense, a lot of options here.
Starbirth likely coming up now.
Yep, looks like that V-Star marker is going to get flipped over. And let's see the combo that's put together this turn. Double turbo. Missed what that one was.
I think it's an Arceus. That is that's a point we haven't seen Calvin get to just yet, is going with the triple Arceus, because then you were really committed to finding that Sharon's Care at the right time.
Right. Doesn't have the same kind of like line of play as you described earlier with the Galarian Moltres and kind of taking advantage of the prize trade there. We do see that it was an Arceus. It does hit the bench, and now we're seeing that Raihan.
Yep. Is this going to find maybe Big Charm? Thinking ahead a few turns, sees the Clara.
Yeah, it looks like Clara is the choice there from Calvin.
Yeah, this turn is not over yet. We're
No,
still working.
we're still making actions here. Looks like was that Evolution Incense for Drizzile for Level Ball.
Yep.
I'm gonna find another Sobble, put it onto the bench.
Yep. Should see some acceleration onto the Arceus V on the bench, maybe one to the active with that Clara, of course. Finding the dark energies, putting them in the right position, getting them into the discard pile could be nice.
And just Trinity Novas into the Mew here. 2 Darkness Energy on the bench, Arceus V, and now going into Ricky's turn. 12 minutes remaining in this match. Up deck's a switch.
This is exactly where Ricky wanted to be. Like, you get the damage onto the Mew VMAX. Your opponent has not taken a prize card yet. You can put yourself in a spot where you can work in that knockout with the Mew VMAX on a Psychic Leap Pokemon, perhaps, and then you just leave your opponent with 3 prize cards remaining, and you're just sitting there with a bunch of 2 prize Pokemon, and then you can get the job done on that final turn. It does require a lot of damage amplifiers here.
Yeah, we'll have to see what kind of Ricky can put together here. Looks like we just Ultra Balled away a Battle VIP pass and a Meloetta. Again, thinning. Finding that second Mew VMAX here. So perhaps setting up for the play that you had spoken about.
If there is no fusion in the discard pile, then maybe Alyssa Sparkle in combination with drawing that last energy could get a nice knockout without having to use all the amplifiers.
Yeah, I don't think there is. I'm not 100%. We see the Parasol on the Genesect, and there's the catcher Tails, and another Tails on the third one. Also a Tails? Oh, okay. That's that. So it just took 3 cards, but we did put this Arceus in the active spot.
Why isn't he just playing Cross Switcher, you know? Could have got that done so much easier.
Only would have taken 2 there. We see the Rose Tower activation. 3 cards in hand now.
Sorry, what? No, I used Rose Tower. From previous search?
We saw the switch into the other Mew VMAX.
Back
Yeah,
or,
I think there's some conversation now around the
I didn't look at
Rose Tower. I don't think anything's been looked at, though.
yeah.
Oh, no, we played the Ultra Ball. I see that's a discussion here. So just unclear if Ricky shuffled off the Ultra Ball before activating the Rose Tower. Looks like he did not. They're going to decide
Shuffle now?
to shuffle the deck. He didn't look at those cards. Didn't get added to his hand in a way that, couldn't discern them from the 1 card remaining in his hand. So looks like no harm, no foul here to me. But unfortunately, the worst thing that this situation does is eat time off the clock.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good. We're also worth noting that it's just smart that Ricky draws cards face down like that, and in case a situation like that ever does arise,
Yes.
you don't want to be the one who saw the cards, because that's a place you don't come back from.
Yeah, I don't want to see the cards. I want to mix them up in their hand. It's not good.
All right.
Second Fusion Strike energy getting attached. Like, Ricky's really carefully thinking about this. 4 more off the Fusion Strike system.
Alyssa Sparkle can get some more energies down.
Yeah, I don't. There's no. I guess there was that 1 Fusion Strike energy prized, actually. And Ricky deciding where this energy is going to go.
Yep.
Looks like just a Genesect.
All right, so we do see there is knockout lined up. Could it be the Mew VMAX on the bench taking that potentially, or we could see the active do that, and then of course the Galarian Moltres would have to come down. I think you just have to assume your opponent has it when they have already grabbed a Clara, and 2 Dark Energies are going to be hitting the discard piles, so maybe just give the prize cards up now, but I could understand either play.
Yeah, we do see that power tablet. He does need the damage modifier, right?
Yeah, I can't remember if one was played already this turn.
I don't think so.
We do see some players like to tilt it in the discard pile for the turn they're using it.
Yeah, I personally like the kind of leave it out system, especially it gets complicated when there's lots of things happening, but you don't have a lot of cards that bring item cards back or anything. All right, 2 prizes remaining for Ricky Gao here. Still all 6 for Calvin, but we know that those can be taken pretty quickly some help from our bird friends.
It's definitely a lot of tension here.
But committing an energy to the Drizzile.
Is there Palpad Raihan shenanigans?
It's possible. We are going to see this Inteleon shitty dealing, so 2 trainer cards this time. Consulting the discard pile.
Also a very reasonable scoop up net target in the active, so
Absolutely.
we might rethink that.
It's like the first choice is going to be Level Ball. And the second choice is going to be Level Ball as well.
I'm going to get all of them.
Yep.
Second one's for the Zigzagoon. I think we are going to see Inteleon attack.
There's a Sobble, there's a Zigzagoon, there's the damage counter on the active.
Yep. Lining up for a 120 attack. Aqua Bullet. To see Pal Pad if Raihan was already used. Don't need it. We can do anything we want.
Energy switch to the active, proving to be setting up some really powerful plays here in this deck and in this format. Aqua Bullet time?
Looks strong.
Aqua Bullet, knockout, and then I will put 20 here.
Can,
Putting on the bench Genesect.
seems fair. And pressure really starts to switch over to Ricky now. 160 is a hard number to hit. This is not a Galarian Moltres now. Could see a Pokemon catcher onto a Pokemon to then use the Psychic Leap. Also need that Mew. Also would like to see energies. There's a lot of things right here that you'd like to have down if you are going to just leave one Mew on the bench.
And we're going to start things off in the late stages here with an Ultra Ball. Looks like Escape Rope and Mew. We're going to hit the discard pile. Ricky just kind of consulting his deck here. I don't even think there's an option to take.
There's no other Mew.
Oh, so it looks like that last Pokemon is a Pumpkaboo?
Yep. There's no Psychic Leap.
Maybe Ricky realizing that discarding that Mew is not where he wanted to be.
That's tough.
Maybe he had miscounted there. Taking a look through his deck, just trying to think about how the plays can work out here. It does go with the Pumpkaboo to the hand, and then that's going to get quick balled away.
Oh, there's Mew in hand. Whew.
Okay.
Oh,
There
had me
is
sweating,
another,
man.
There is another one
Yep,
in hand. Okay,
yep.
okay.
Oh, okay. Yep, that was terrifying. So certainly plays still lined up. Pokemon Catcher is live. Already seen 3 of those played, so the last one would be very nice.
Yeah, feeling the quick ball, of course.
See the boss's orders as well. So that could just be a play. Maybe you're thinking Catcher in combination with Elisa Sparkle is going to be the way that you close this game out by way of a Genesect. It's there's a lot of decisions going on here. Gonna go ahead and
All right,
cash in
so
on the Catcher.
Pokemon Catcher.
I will grab Sobble.
Alrighty, he got the heads and is gonna take the Sobble. Continues to draw 2. Has the Rose Tower first. Now the Genesect. 2 minutes left on the clock. Trying to close out in a spot where you can't take a third game.
It's kind of that's kind of the elephant in the room here for Ricky. Is just the players of this caliber are going to be mostly aware of what time is like. They won't have the exact seconds, but they know it's been a long time here. And if you're Ricky, you've just got to be kind of feeling the pressure of, well, I might not even win this game, but if I do, can I finish? Most of my turns take more than 2 minutes. Can I actually finish a game? in that time, and we do see that Psychic Leap.
All right, this is a big spot now for Calvin. Is he going to target down the Mew? Is he going to have to work on that Meloetta? You have to think about Elisa Sparkle. You have to think about damage amplifiers. Knowing exact counts on that discard pile are going to be crucial.
Yep, Mew gets moved to the active there for Ricky, and now it looks like deciding who's gonna come tussle with it, and it will be Inteleon.
Inteleon's still a great card to scoop up net regardless of these energies. Just having access to multiple shady dealians with that Drizzile and the Inteleon once again because of the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. That's we talk a lot about the shady dealings engine, and that's exactly what you want to be doing, is just playing them down, scooping them up, resetting them, just finding whatever cards you need at specific correct moments. Entering the last minute of this match here.
Of course, the most hit points is optimal here. One prize card left for Ricky. So 310 going to be the number to hit, unless of course there is a switching effect on the opponent's Pokemon.
Looks like we do commit that capture energy to the Arceus V-Star on the bench.
Have to think that the Mew is likely going to be falling in this situation by way of the Arceus V-Star. Meloetta then working on that Elisa Sparkle. Calvin just doing everything in his power to make sure that this is the best line, that he has an additional attacker ready to go if something else were to happen. If there is a Genesect in the active and you don't have a way to do additional damage, especially with that Fusion Strike energy attached, that can make things trickier.
Absolutely. Really tense moments here as time has expired. Calvin is turn 0.
Both players 2 turns to close out the game. Definitely possible. Very likely that this game is going to have 1 prize each at the end of turn 0.
The double Arceus, double Dark Clara there. There's a scoop up net. Sets the Moltres back down with the Malevolent Charge. Training Court bumps the Rose Tower.
Yep.
No basic energy for Calvin yet.
All right, here's the biggest thing he's got.
Trinity Nova.
Not sure if we saw the capture energy this turn or not.
Yeah, the capture energy was attached this turn. It found the Moltres.
Okay, training court onto that energy for the declaring Moltres shouldn't have happened then, but we'll see.
Oh, right, correct.
We'll see if that matters.
All right, Rick. Hopefully the judges can get that fixed momentarily.
Well, let's see if it matters. Alyssa Sparkle's going to go ahead and get one of the energies onto that Meloetta, additional energy onto the Genesect. We now see 3 of the fusion energies in play. That's 210 damage available. We see another in hand, so that's 280.
There's a boss's orders. Oh, we played the Elixir Sparkle, though, of course.
And can the Cram find the damage amplifier? If the amplifier's here, then you just work your way through that Arceus in the active spot. I don't think you need it, though. You just... Well, you can't boss. You used Alyssa's. That's why the play was interesting on using the Pokemon Catcher rather than the boss's orders last turn.
I don't know if that changes anything.
Yeah, it looks like we have corrected the training court issue.
Okay. Should just be a Cram flip coming up now. Don't think it matters too much. Oh, says he has game.
Yeah, I think the players are discussing a possible penalty over the attachment from the training court So not sure exactly what's going to happen here. Kind of a really awkward spot where just kind of long turn happens. You kind of think of the capture energy as, you know, not really an energy card, and you're attaching a lot with the malevolent charge and such. And well, but also like a really high leverage spot too, right? I think I heard Ricky say something about a prize penalty. It's like, well, that's just obviously pretty big here.
Yeah, there's not a lot of prizes to go around at this point.
So we'll let the judges decide what the right thing to do is. But it looks to me, just based on, you know, kind of ignoring that, based on what's in Ricky's hand, it looks like we just are relying on a chromatic. I mean, I guess a chromatic flip for a damage modifier.
Yeah,
right?
and even then, if he doesn't hit it, I think he thins his hand down low enough to where he's just going to draw into the amplifier naturally. He only has 5 cards left in deck, I believe. So I think it's a moot point anyways, but we'll see how that goes. Meloetta, of course, going to be the big attacker here, that Melodious Echo, dealing 280 damage because of the energies that will be in play. That last Fusion Strike energy is in the hand.
Yeah, such a strong card is Meloetta. You usually see it good for just kind of like one attack, but that often that is enough. And
there you go.
Okay, we do see the chromatic does hit heads. We do have that choice belt. Looks like there's also the power tablet in there. We could just showing you. Okay, here's the attack. Here is the game. There is the match.
Well, that is the match. It is not the result that either of these players was looking for, but of course, it's the way the game goes sometimes. In playing for points, getting those points for your world championship standings, your championship points, that's something that all these players are considering.
Yeah, really unfortunate turn of events here for both players. Neither of these players really. Again, like you said, not the result either of these players wanted. Kind of the time rules that kind of have to exist in tournaments are not always favorable for the players here. And looks like neither player will be advancing to day 2